AKA 53 is knocking on the door, and today we open the door for one of the stars of the show, Nevan Driehuis, on the card once again in Lake Charles. Brother, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. Blessed as always. I'm excited. Thank you for having me on today. Can't wait to fight for you guys again, man. So this time in a different venue. I normally just fight in the Burton or Civic Center a lot, but this time it's gonna be the first time for me fighting in the Golden Nugget, so it should be fun. Should be fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The last time we were in the Golden Nugget, it was. You may have been there. I don't know if
I
you
was there,
were at
yeah.
the. Yeah, it was
Great night of
really
fighting.
great. Yeah, it,
Great.
it was an incredible card across the board. Can't say enough good things about the Golden Nugget. There's a really good feel in there too.
Oh yeah.
It's a really good vibe. I personally think.
Yeah, my favorite fight on that card was Tyler Reed, and when he fought for the just like an absolute 5 round war. That's my boy Tyler.
Yeah, no, he put on an absolute show out there. They went toe to toe
Mm-hmm.
for the entire fight. But let's talk about your last fight. The last time we were in Lake Charles, you made your professional debut. You came away with the win. Maybe things didn't go quite the way you wanted it to. It was a little bit of a strange fight.
Yeah.
Had to deal with the takedowns of Isnioris Reyes early, but you dealt with him. He ultimately sustained an injury. But look, he sustained that injury because of your activity, you know, forcing the fight in different ways. So, how do you view that fight now that you've had some time to digest it?
I mean, obviously, like I wasn't happy with how. I wish it would have went longer.
Hmm.
Because I didn't really get to, you know, get my staple in that fight. Like just to really like if you wanted to quit, that's fine. I'm all good with that. I like to make people quit, but just so I could get a little bit more of I wish I could have got a little bit more of my work going before that occurred because even during the round where things were, it seemed like a storm, and but it was awesome, man. I still had a lot of fun in the fight. I was like, damn, man, this guy's strong.
Yeah.
But I never lost confidence the whole time. The more and more he slammed me, the more and more I was like, this guy's absolutely screwed when I get up. Because I knew he was wasting a lot of energy. I could feel him breathing heavy. When I got up on top of him and started leg kicking him, I could see him looking at the clock, getting lazy. And that's when I was like, okay, I got to get the damage in. So I started dropping heavy bows. And I'm not surprised. We knew his Norris was the type of guy to just explode with everything he had because he was wrestling for the Cuban national team, and
Yeah.
wrestlers' instincts are to go balls to the wall from bell to bell. And I knew he wouldn't be able to handle that because people that usually do that, they just kind of sit there and accept it. I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
I knew I had to stay moving. I had to stay scrambling. I had to stay defending. Even though he was getting me in spots over and over and over, I knew if I just kept moving, eventually he wouldn't be able to. I don't believe he was injured personally. I think he just kind of has that tendency to quit. I knew he was I knew he accepted the fight because he thought there was gonna be something else in there for him. I knew he was his game plan was to put me out in the first round. Um, but I knew my answer was, well, what if you don't? And he didn't, and I'm not surprised of what happened. So I'm pleased with I'm not pleased, but pleased at the same time because I expected a hell of a first round, but I knew after that everything was mine. So it was only a matter of time, is what it is. But I'm happy. First pro dub. Can't I'm just blessed, man. And I went out there with no injury despite all the heavy positions, the tough positions. So I mean, I was able to recover, and I got back to training Monday. So
Hey, like they say in sports, a win is a win. That's what matters the most, is coming out of
hmm
there with the W. Obviously, it would have been awesome. You get a first round knockout in your debut and all that stuff. But I personally think in some ways it was good to see you get tested in your
hmm
first pro fight. You know what I mean? Like that builds more character for the long run than walking out there getting an easy KO and walking away. Would you agree with that
absolutely.
to some extent?
Yeah, 100%. I don't. You got a lot of up and coming pros right now that are just only taking like 500 fighters and people
Hmm.
guys with negative records and people that haven't really done anything in the sport, and that stuff like that doesn't excite me. It doesn't. For me to go out there and really prepare for the most for someone, it's got to be somebody that I feel is a threat to me. And so if I know that if the day comes where I fight somebody willingly, and I know I'm gonna go out there and put them out in minutes,
Hmm.
I'm doing it wrong. So you'll never see me do that. And the only time I would ever do that is if it was some last minute like replacement.
Yeah.
And I just needed to fight. But you'll never see me go out there seeking some fighter that I can just push over by just pure will. So I love the testing that comes with the sport. I was super grateful for that. As Norris was a strong dude. I
Mhm.
probably, as far as like wrestlers go, I probably won't face a better wrestler like him until I get to the UFC. So
Yeah.
it's good to get that kind of feel of somebody as high level as that in grappling and know what I need to go from. You know.
Yeah, and I'll just say the Arwana fight team, all of their fighters that they bring to fight for us, they're always prepared. So I'm not
Absolutely.
surprised that he was ready to go for that fight. And you dealt with it. That's the most important thing. You dealt
Mhm.
with it. You came out of there with the win. Was there anything different walking into the fight as a professional? Any different nerves? Was there like anything that's like, okay, this is a little bit different this time?
Oh yeah, definitely. At first, pro fight nerves are definitely a real thing. Um, when I got late into my amateur career, it's like when you're going against a bunch of other amateurs, and though I was fighting high level amateurs, it's still like, man, like this is amateurs. Like there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing on the line here. Just go out there,
Yes.
have fun, flow, be your best, all that. But going to the first pro fight where like my old record was like 7-1. Before I went 7-1, I was 6-1. I had some kind of wins to fall back on, even if
Yeah.
something did go bad. But I mean, that none of that matters anyway, pro or amateur. It's just kind of those little petty mental battles that you have in your head. And so yeah, there was some first pro fight nerves. It was my first camp, not in Lake Charles. I was doing a lot of private work with my coaches, not so much team like work with teams. And so I mean, there was a bunch of different things that I had to overcome in the between the camps. And so yeah, there was a little bit of nerves there, but once, man, every time that walk hits, all of it flees, man. I mean, God carries me there, and I just trust Him. And every time like that, it and it goes, it's like clockwork, man. Every time I walk in that cage, this thought comes without plan. Like it just like it's in God's hands now. Just do it. Just let it be. I literally say that to myself every time I enter, without even thinking about it. Just that's just what pops in my head, and I think that's just God speaking to me on like what I need to be focused on. And so it like I said, there was a few nerves. I think I'm gonna be fine this time. Just now, I felt great in those 5-minute round. I felt like I could have gone all of the ones that I needed to if it were to go further. So man, I'm more than confident going into this one. I got another really good opponent that I'm looking forward to. Just feel how he is. So but yeah, there was some nerves, but man, it all goes whenever that walk starts, and it's amazing. I can't. There's nothing like it. Each and every time, it's fresh. So
Yeah. Nerves are always a part of a big game, a big fight. Like it's just that's just being human. It really and truly is. You know what I mean? I think we've all felt that. I pitched in some big games. You've fought in some big fights. Like those are just natural human feelings. And
yeah.
I truly think that was one of the best results for you in that fight, coming away with a win, being tested a little bit, getting the nerves out of the way, and now you can start to make your run. And if you're going to make that run, it's going to be in your second fight against Adrian Smith, aka 53, in Lake Charles. How much do you know about Adrian, and what are the thoughts going into this one?
What I know about Adrian is that I mean, like me in my amateur career, a lot of people didn't amount to our to his level in the striking. Same with me, and not a lot of people chose to wrestle with me, other than like as far as people that tried to take me down. It was really just my first fight, but that was debut, so whatever. And Dardar was really the only person that tried to wrestle me, and in my fight with Ian Hibbs, he tried to wrestle me a little bit too, but it was mostly on the feet. Um, the similarities between me and Adrian is we both want to keep it standing, and that's 100% what I plan to do. I want to put on the best show, the best performance for the fans, like, and because everybody's been fearful of Adrian on the feet,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not at all. Uh, though I think he's a great fighter. I'm going to absolutely test those waters, and I don't plan on changing it because I mean, I think I'm one of the best in the division as far as striking goes. And I plan on proving that on the feet, on the ground, wherever it may go. But I mean, since he's a striker and he don't like shooting any shots, that's what we'll do. We'll keep it standing. So that's my plan going into it. And I'm excited, man. There's not too much I know about Adrian, his style personally. I know he has fast hands, mainly a boxing type. He's a little longer than me, but man, there's no game plan really going into this. It's just stay on the feet and be better than him. That's feel him out, see what he's like, be better. That's it.
Is it a little maybe freeing or more exciting knowing, hey, I'm not going to have to deal with takedowns potentially in this fight?
I mean, I don't know where he stands. I know he's primarily the striker in all of his fights. People shoot takedowns on him, and he has to defend.
Yeah,
But there is a little piece there because I know he's a dog, and I know he's going to stand with me. He's going to want to. And he's gonna want to prove that to himself as well, and just prove himself in general. So I mean, yeah, there's a little piece to that. I know. But he had in his first pro win, he did. He clearly went out there with a game plan to wrestle and get the sub. So we'll see what he does, but
sure.
far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to stand and bang.
Yeah.
So
And you'll deal with it if it comes, right?
deal with it if it comes. Yep.
That's right. Uh, you and I were talking a minute ago before we started the pod. You're hitting the sauna later, getting ready to do the weight cut. Kind of walk the people through what a weight cut for Nevan is like.
Oh, what a weight cut for me is like it's I mean I'm on a strict diet that I follow. Moving up a weight class, I still stayed eating healthy, but I could eat a lot more. So I've been very comfortable this camp. This camp has been awesome because not I haven't had to worry so much about the weight because at 35 of course I would still cut weight, but I was a big 35. I definitely cut more than the average person. Um, so moving up this weight class, I was able to be a little bit more comfortable throughout camp, not so much have to worry about a sweat, but worry more about quality training. And so a weight cut for me looks like about 2 weeks out, we start to dial it down. We still train, still doing all the things, but trying to tone it down a little bit. Keep the sparring lighter, so no last minute injuries happen before the fight day comes. And we're just gonna, I mean, just flow, work through things slow but fast, slow and smooth. Just go over the things I've drilled all camp, and gradually lower down those calories as the fight gets closer. Uh, Keep the water loading up. Uh, Cut the sodium, carbs a few days out. Not cut it, but gradually lower it. And then just getting this where the hardest part of the fight, getting that sauna and get the rest of the weight off, and then when you make weight, it's time to go. So that's what it looks like for me. It makes it a lot easier though, being around my family at PE Training Center. We all cut weight together, and we have a good time. It sucks, but being around each other makes it more enjoyable.
It's always nice to have somebody to suffer with you, right?
Yep,
It's
absolutely,
just when times are bad, if you got the boys there and you're all going through it together, it makes it a little bit better.
it
Speaking
does. Yeah.
of the boys, you got the boys on the card, Austin
Oh yeah,
Swallow, Hunter
let's go.
Smith on this one as well. I think we talked about this last time, but how cool is it to get active on a card with some of your brothers?
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. I love fighting alongside my brothers. These are people that I literally die for. These people, like, pretty much, like, I didn't know a lot of anything at 15 years old when I started training with these guys, and these guys pretty much raised me. I mean, they taught me a lot of the things that I know today about just not even just fighting, like just how to be a good person, how to help others, how to show up for others, how to be a good teammate, how to be there for people. Like these guys taught me all those things, and we really stuck together for a long time. I miss these guys. I miss these guys out in Lake Charles. I try to visit them as much as I can, but it's awesome to have them on the card. It's nothing new to me. We've been fighting together forever,
Mhm.
but I mean, not for long though. I mean, so Austin, I think I'm ready to see how he goes. He's really starting to open up as of lately. And he's had trouble in past fights, really opening up and amounting to his full potential in the cage, all to just mental stuff and challenges. And I think that with this opponent, he's really happy with somebody. He's the same way like me. Like he wants a tough opponent so that he can really, um, he can he can really have a threat to where he has to work for it. So I'm hoping he amounts to his full potential, and I have hope that he will. And I can't wait to see him perform. But Hunter, man, this has been a long awaited upcoming fight, even for us, because we know that first fight was not headshot. Just and I'm not making no excuses. Elliot did his thing,
Mhm.
but Hunter had a lot more to show than what he did, and he's been working like absolute. He's been working so much since then, and it's done nothing but motivate him. And he has grown tenfold since that fight. And I can't wait to see what he does. And I think it's going to be absolute domination this time. Hunter, that's what it should have been the first time, but I think he truly gets it done this time, and I can't wait to see that fight. But the fighting on cards with teammates is probably going to be the thing that's going to be short lived from here on out. So because Hunter, I'm 100% sure he's going to get that call after this, if not
Yeah.
one more, you know.
Yeah.
And after this, I plan on to start getting on more cards by myself instead of with the team, because I rely on that as for like a mental crutch sometimes. Like when I'm not around my teammates on fight day, I get a little, nervous. Like, oh, I need to like keep my mind off this, whatever. But I need to start getting more comfortable in those uncomfortable spots, because in the UFC, your homies ain't all with you,
Yeah.
and you get
Yeah.
on whatever card you can get on, and
Mhm.
they're not always making Louisiana cards where me and Hunter and Carly can get on them. So I need to start learning to fight on my own and not with the crowd behind me that's like pumping me up. Just be with myself, my own thoughts, with the Lord, getting my peace purely from Him, no one else. And so I'm about to start trying to level up in that area. Just start fighting on my own a little bit to get out of that comfort zone.
You get just taking the steps one
Mm,
by one, right? Get the
yeah,
first pro fight and then start bridging out from there. And
yeah,
talking about the Hunter and Elliot fight, it's truly one of the biggest fights in
it is.
Louisiana MMA history. Like we've been billing it as that, and I don't think that that's overselling it by any means. I mean,
No,
this is a huge fight, brother.
massive fight.
Yeah.
Two big contenders. I mean,
Yep.
Hunter's definitely got the better record of the two with the better performances.
Mhm.
But Elliot, he when he wins, he absolutely crushes dudes.
Yep.
With no in between, he either the from his two losses, he either just he goes out on the shield, or he puts people away.
Mhm.
So it's the same with Hunter. Hunter in his one loss, he went out on a shield, and the other seven, he's either put on amazing performances, or he's just absolutely just destroyed people. So these are two very athletic, very powerful guys, and 100% without a doubt, not sugarcoated, one of the biggest fights in Louisiana history for people that are not in the UFC.
Yeah, they both have so much talent. I
Yeah,
personally think the key to this fight, if Hunter can stuff a few takedowns and keep it on the feet, we're in for an absolute just banger.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Again, who knows? I'm not inside their heads to see what the game plans are, but I think if it stays on the feet, we're in for an absolute banger of a fight. And Hunter's power is second to none in the state. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
I personally believe that Elliot's going to try to keep it standing for a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's going to try. I think he's going to test the waters, because I know
Okay.
he's been working on it.
Mhm.
But I think, and this is no disrespect to Elliot, I'm all about
Yeah.
respect, but he's going to find out really quick it's not a good idea. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be a good fight regardless.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I look. I don't play favorites or anything. I just want to see a banger of
Oh
a
yeah,
fight. I'm just a sports nut, bro. I love competition in every form, and I know when we get to AKA 53, we got a lot of really good fights on this card. Of course, none better than Hunter and Elliot. It is the main event for a reason, and we've got Nerve back once again, taking on Adrian Smith for his second professional fight. Any words for your friends and family for this one?
my friends and family, just thank you all. I mean, like, it's a blessing to be able to perform in front of you guys. It's without it never fails, but you guys always show up for us, and you guys always giving us support, whether it's a little message on Facebook or Instagram, or commenting, sharing our posts. We appreciate it all, and I just can't wait to do what God's called me to do, man. Just bring light into this sport that's full of darkness, and just lift him up in front of as much people as I can. It's not even about the amount of people, but it's the amount of hearts that's touched and the amount of seeds that's planted. And I just hope that I can do that rightly and just walk as God's called me to. Um, the faith thing is not, it's not an easy walk. There's definitely ups and downs throughout life, and there's definitely moments where I'll fall short. But man, it's not about what I do; it's about what He did. I'm not defined by my actions; I'm defined by what He did on that cross. So I just can't wait to represent that, hold up that Jesus King flag. That's my favorite thing to do, man. There's nothing that compares to it. I believe that's what makes this sport so amazing, so much more amazing to me. And it's just being able to represent Him and just fully rely on Him and His Spirit to just take over and give me peace and let me perform to the best of my ability. None of it could be done without Him. I thank all my brothers, my family for helping me helping support me all camp. My wife, my beautiful wife, she meal prepped for me all camp. My beautiful son, he motivates me more than anything. He just turned one. and it's been an absolute pleasure being his father. And just grateful to God for all of it, man. It's a privilege, and I don't plan on taking it for granted. And it's going to be. I hope to put on the best performance I possibly can. That's exactly what I plan on doing. So thank you guys, all of you. Thank you.
Well, Nevan, we'll let you get to training, get in, hit the sauna tonight. I appreciate your time, brother. Always appreciate your energy and sharing the word. Certainly one of my favorite fighters we have at AKA.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it, man. Best of luck out there, dude.
dude. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Now we've got a very special guest, Carlos Rivera, the man behind the scenes, but also in the front of the scenes, because it's the first thing you see every time an AKA graphic drops. It's the work of Carlos Rivera. Carlos, appreciate your time, brother. I really and truly think you are one of the best I've ever seen at making graphics, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you taking some time. Not only have you been doing the graphics, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute, but you've been a bit of a videographer as of late. You've been behind the scenes with Elliot Hebert and Hunter Smith. Tell me a little bit about that experience and what it's been like to pick up the video camera and get a chance to do those interviews with those guys.
Yeah, it's been very very cool. I got the chance to go down there, hang out with Elliot and Hunter for about a day, check out their training, check out just their daily life. I got to do one-on-one interviews, got to hear some stuff that was really cool. And I got some good insight, some stuff
Mhm.
inside that people might not know that I think is going to play a good part in this fight.
And it's really cool, isn't it, to be able to see those guys outside of the cage, right? See how
Mhm.
they interact, see the way that they are when the cage door isn't closed and they're trying to better themselves and prepare for those fights. You really get a better idea of who each fighter is.
For sure. You know, you only see them on TV. You might get a certain idea of how someone is, but when you get to sit down one on one and just to hear them talk, it's really interesting just to see what their life's all about and how much the MMA plays into their daily life.
Yeah,
Um,
I think also think Hunter's kind of a perfect example because you would think like this dude's a killer. He must be a madman. Super kind, very respectful guy. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the persona or the competitor that comes out in the cage is a little bit different than the person they truly are.
for sure, for sure, and that's something we spoke about with me and Hunter. I said maybe sometimes he might come off as this bad boy,
Yeah.
and that's part of the reason some people like him. He comes in, he's mean mugging, and the crowd's going crazy. But when you sit down and talk to him, he's a family guy. He's a religious guy. He likes to preach the word, and so it's fun to get to know that side of these guys. And same thing with if Elliot. You sit down and talk to him, real soft spoken guy, very very smart guy. He knows how to talk
Mhm.
very well, and
Yep.
just sitting there and talking to both of them and hearing both sides of how kind of they got into it and why they do it. And we have a countdown coming up this weekend. Well, I tried to really get that side of them so everyone can get a chance to see who they really are.
Yeah, no, I think it's really awesome. I certainly appreciate you getting out there and getting some behind the scenes looks at who these guys are. And the thing is, they can't be a nice guy when they step into the cage. So it is cool to see that they are nice guys outside of the cage. All right, let's talk about the fight now. Elliot Abear, Hunter Smith getting active for the second time. First time around, Elliot, I wouldn't say it was an upset, but at the time, Hunter was undefeated. He had the zero. Elliot came and took his zero, came away with the title. But now you've got revenge on the mind for Hunter. You've got Elliot trying to defend his title. Truly, one of the biggest fights in the history of Louisiana mixed martial arts. I say it's the biggest fight in AKA history. You said that as well. This one's exciting, Carlos.
Yeah, it's exciting. And when I went down there to spend time with both of these guys, I feel like I got to know what happened before they fought the first time. I think this second time is going to be a lot different. I think just talking to both guys, talking to Elliot, Elliot says he was kind of in between camps, in between gyms at the time. He saw the opportunity, he took it, went in there kind of underprepared, but still went in there, and did his thing. And then on the other side, you had Hunter. I think he had four knockouts in a row. He was undefeated, and he kind of overlooked Elliot. He said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go with my skill that I already have. Just stay in shape." And he's kind of looking past him. So they were both kind of in different places
Mhm.
mentally, and I think this time around they're both preparing for each other. You know, they're not just trying to get better, but they're preparing for what they've seen already from each other.
Yeah, no, I think, when you do it a second time, like, you know what your opponent's about more. And you know what? I'll tell you what, this time, each of them are more visible to the other because of the stuff that we're doing here. The
Yeah,
last time around, like, there was some promotion and stuff, but they're not seeing each other in podcasts and interviews and stuff. It
Yeah.
really adds a different element to it. I think it adds, I don't want to say more pressure, but it certainly hypes it up more, which, you could say that adds more pressure if you want to. But and then you'd have the actual fighting aspect of it. You'd understand what each other's about now. You felt their power. You know
Yeah.
that Elliot's got a legitimate takedown, and he's a problem in that area. So for both guys to kind of understand each other more, I can't wait to see this. You have the power of Hunter Smith, which can put anybody to sleep at any time. Elliot has to be incredibly careful with him, but at the same time, you have this really well-rounded skill set of Elliot that's proven to be a real problem for everybody that he's faced, including Hunter. So, did they talk much about any adjustments that each of them had made for this fight? Whenever you talk to them,
they have. Like I said, they've been training for each other. You know,
yeah,
Hunter said, "Hey, you know, last time I went, I didn't really train for him." He said, "This time, my entire camp is for him. You know, a lot of wrestling, you know, a lot of stuff that he's seen that maybe he could improve on, stuff that he did wrong." And on the other side, same thing. Elliot said the same thing. You know, he said, "Hey, this fight's strictly a game plan for Hunter. You know, they're both really training like this is the fight right before the big show. You know, and I think they feel it. I think the fans feel it, and I think that you know we're gonna see the best of both. I do believe that. I think they're both training like it's the biggest fight of their life right now.
hmm
They're both excited, and there's something behind it. You know, they both say maybe it's not revenge, but it's definitely a rivalry. You know, what I mean, there's two cities right real close to each other, two big names, and both on their way up. You know, they're about a fight away. This might be the fight.
hey,
So I mean, I'd say this is the biggest fight in Louisiana history for sure.
well, they really each could be a call away. There's a chance that they have an absolute war out there. They both show off how skilled both of them are, and they both get the call. I mean, I think they're both those caliber of fighters. I know for a fact there's going to be some eyes out there from the UFC that watch this fight. Like, it's whether they watch it live or they watch it back. Like, these are two prospects that are on their radar. There's no doubt about it. They're going to see these two guys fight. And there was a lot of hype with Hunter fighting Aleko that maybe he wins that, he gets the call. He did it in emphatic fashion, but I think a chance to right his wrong against Elliot only adds to his prospect for the UFC, if you will. And then if you're Elliot, you take out the guy again. Like, there's just really building blocks for each of them in this fight, or I should say steps to trying to get to the next level. So I couldn't be more excited for it. I think we're in for a good one, brother. I think we're in for a real good one.
Yes, and that being said, the time I spent down there, I have me and my son been working on AKA 53 countdown, where we're gonna put all the behind the scenes stuff, some of their training, some stuff their coaches said, and just some of the behind the scenes and their life stuff. You know, they're both family men, and we've got all that on tape that we want people to show people, just to get a different look at the fight. See why they're fighting, and so stay tuned. This weekend it's coming out, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
No, we're looking forward to it. I already saw a glimpse of it. It's pretty cool, and like, you kind of get the emotional aspect of it too. You were in the house with them, so I don't want to spoil it, but you kind of, it's a really good scene setter, and you get a chance to understand who these people are outside of the cage and truly see them for just the human being that they are, and the hardships that are go on in life, and the things they have to go through, and that's just, everybody goes through that, but you get a chance to see it with these particular fighters, which is so cool. Well, I got a feeling that was a pretty fulfilling journey for you down there.
Let's say on the drive back up, I was hyped. I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to hurry up and get it done and put it out there for everyone to see. I was like, okay, these guys are ready. These guys are hyped. These guys are training. These guys are ready to roll. I was hyped the whole way back.
Obviously, AKA 53, A Bear Smith 2, AKA Lightweight Championship on the line down in Lake Charles on March 7th. Get your tickets right now at akafights.com. And the first thing that anybody saw from AKA 53 was the graphics that you made. And I feel like you have been putting in overtime on the graphics as of late. Brother, they're so good. I guess kind of walk us through your process, unless don't want to spill any the magic.
No, yeah. You know, uh, for this one, I knew it was a big fight. To me, it's the biggest fight in Louisiana history
Mhm.
for sure for AKA,
Yep.
and I just wanted to show to everyone that might not know what's going on, just the feel of the intensity of the fight. And so I played around with it for a while, and I always just put a background in there. It takes me like 4 or 5 different tries to finally get what I'm trying to put out there. And I went with the kind of the a swampy look. But the alligators in there, I put them both
Mhm.
inside the swamp, it's just facing off from their previous fight. And I got a good reaction. I put it out, and everyone liked it. So I was like, okay, I think I got that one right.
Oh yeah, you definitely did, and it's not just the average generic. Oh hey, here's a fight, and look, those have their place too, right? This is the fight game. Like everybody needs to see the basics. That's a huge part of it. But seeing you get so creative with those really is eye catching, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I try to do that. I try to put a lot of colors in there. I try to splash it up a lot of times. So I've been doing it for a long time. I went to the Art Institute in San Diego just right out of high school, and you know, I- graphic design and MMA kind of just went together for me. I love both of them, and just right out of there, I joined a local company there, Epic Fighting, as just a street team member. Where I would just go tag the streets with posters all over. And as soon as I got that chance, when they knew I'd do graphic design, I got that chance to step in for them. I just kind of been at it since then, and just trying to perfect it, and just learning new stuff. And you know, um, I appreciate the kind words. I do put a lot of work into them. I do a lot of thought into them, and um, it's just something I enjoy doing, and hopefully it shows when I put myself out there.
Well, here's a little story. I remember the first time I didn't know that Amber had gotten a new graphics guy, and I saw the graphics and I text her and I was like, this isn't the same guy or something along those lines. And she was like, yeah, this is somebody new that we're kind of trying out. And I was like, I think this is your guy. And I mean, you could tell, and not that the person before was bad or anything. It's just I really did feel that you were on a different level with it. You could see your attention to detail. It looked very good. It looked incredibly professional. And sometimes you don't always get that in the regional MMA scene. So your work is very noticed, and that probably has to feel good as well, right? Just knowing that hey, the work I'm putting in is being noticed and it's good work.
Yeah, it's always shocking when I put it out there and then I see the views and the comments and stuff. I'm like, it's pretty crazy to be in that spot. To be in a spot where all my stuff is being put out there, and being with AKA and all the eyes that are on there, and everyone that's seeing it and looking at it, it's pretty cool, man. It's something that, like I said, I love MMA, I love art, I love, and to put those together, and to see people enjoy them, it's pretty cool.
So when you originally got into graphic design, was MMA the plan, or was it just hey, I like I enjoy art? Was there an idea behind it, or was this kind of the avenue you wanted to go?
Well, art is my main thing.
Mhm.
Art. I draw, I paint. And I got into graphic design in high school, and MMA just came later on, and they just married each other. It's just like what I'm doing now. I didn't think I was gonna be doing. I thought I'd have a different design job, but it just worked out. I just been following MMA for so long. I've been in the MMA game for a long time, and it just worked out. It was never a plan of mine, but it worked.
Well, I would say it's definitely working, and I think one of the reasons I admire it so much is Carlos. I'm one of the least artsy, artful people on the planet. Like I can barely draw a stick figure. One of the only classes I ever failed was art because I was terrible, bro. And so I have a lot of respect for people that have that game. Now I've done graphic design, since then, and it's a different feel, right? It's you're
Yeah.
working in a computer. It's totally different. You don't have to, have the creativity that you have to do when you're creating art with a hand. But so I have an extra respect for everything that you've done, and certainly enjoy it, and it's good to see that the fans are liking what you're putting out as well. You also have your son who helps you out a ton. I mean, he's always there, always helping out. That's got to be pretty cool to have that bond and be able to do a lot of this together.
Yes, my son is my assistant. He goes to the events with me. He helps me a lot. Just wherever I need it. Mainly now is the video. Since I'm cage side a lot of times, I'm running the social media, trying to put up the highlights as fast as I can. He's the one out there trying to get the shots in the background. The inside the cage stuff, behind the scenes stuff, so that we can have stuff to kind of to put out to the fans. Stuff that they might not see, whether they're at the event sitting down or just watching at home. We want to start putting out content from the back scenes, and he's been a lot of help to me. He also loves MMA, so he's trying to get in the game as well. So going along with me and just checking out how I'm doing it and learning. I mean, it's been real cool.
I always ask the fighters, what's a part of their game that's grown since the last time we saw them fight or something? What do you think's one of the parts of your game, your graphic game, that has grown the most since you started with AKA?
I'm always just looking for a different thing. I look at other people's stuff. I'm like, man, how do they do that? That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. And you know, um, it's just always learning. Photoshop and these other programs, they have so much stuff that you can do. And I'm always on YouTube. I'm learning new ways to do stuff. So I think just the programming, um, and just the advancement of Photoshop that they're doing, and I try to use everything I can. So I think that's it. The creative part, it's in my brain. I don't know what I'm gonna make until I start working on it. Just a blank canvas, and I just start throwing stuff at it. A lot of times it doesn't work. It takes me 4 or 5, 6 times to finally get it right. But just I think it's just the technology really. Technology is getting better, and I'm trying to take advantage of it.
Well, you certainly have been taking advantage of it. Do you have a particular graphic that might be your favorite that you've done with AKA? I know that's probably tough to
Man,
narrow
yeah.
down because you've
I
done
mean
a ton of them.
this current one is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
When I seen it, when I sat back and I looked at it, I'm like, all right, I'm about to post this. Let's see, let's see if everyone likes it as well. And right away, people were on the page saying that they loved it. And actually, I think I had called Hunter. That I said, hey, I just tagged you in the post, man. Can you share it? And he was like, man, this thing's so sick. I love that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So yeah.
I think it was. I can see the graphic, but I can't remember which fight it was now. I think it was Hunter and Aleko. You did a really incredible one too. The last time we were in Lake Charles, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember it
I'll have
off the
to, I'll
top of
have
my
to,
head.
I'll post it
Okay.
here,
Okay.
as we're talking about it, so everybody can see which one I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's the last time we were in Lake Charles, but, um, you know, what you've been doing a lot of the social media as well. Was that something beforehand that had a lot of practice in, or has that kind of been a new element as well?
No, just working with AKA and Amber, she's really given me, a lot of opportunities to work in different parts of the game. So just since I've been with AKA, I've been able to do some of the photography, the videography, social media. It's just been something I've been open to. Something I want to do, and Amber's been really cool with me as far as letting me try everything out, and it's been a lot of fun. I try to put out as much as I can. I try to be a little bit different. Sometimes I'll put some quotes for someone that someone says, or I'll put a different tail of the tape, and I just try to be creative and put a lot of stuff out there. We have a lot of fans at AKA, and I put something up and I always get comments. So it's been cool to just be a part of all of that.
Every single time a badass graphic drops, you can see me under there. This is a great
Yeah,
graphic. Like
I see you.
I always give it love anytime that top tier. They're almost all top tier, but some of them are just on another level. You know what
For
I mean?
sure. Hmm.
That's just how it is. They can't all be 100s. Some of them are just 99s. It's the way the game is.
For sure.
Um, the videography part. Did you have a lot of experience, creating videos, or is that kind of a new element too?
It's a new element, but it's not something I haven't done.
Hmm.
About like I said, I love art and being creative. So even back, when I started just out of high school into the art institute, I'd figure out ways to do my own content. So some of it's new. I'm still learning some programs, but there's things that I've already tried out. It's things that I've had an interest in, just like the photography. It's just stuff that I've done a little bit of, but I've been concentrating more on them.
I love it, man. I think everything you're doing is great. Again, anytime I get a chance to sing your praises, I have done so, whether it's been meetings, whether it's this. I
Yeah,
hope you know that I truly mean everything that I say. I have legitimate respect for you as a person and for your work. I think you've done a hell of a job for us. We're very lucky to have you at AKA. Lucky to have your son as well. I think we have such a good family at AKA. Everybody's really, it's a good family unit, man. It's been really fun for me to be a part of it. I've been a part of it since it changed from rite of passage to AKA. I've only missed like I think 2 fights in that entire time, so I've kind of seen it grow, man. I've seen a lot of this happen, and you're certainly one of the best additions that we've had to the game. And I appreciate your time here today, Carlos.
I think you appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us on this episode of the AKA Pod. Smith Hebert to Lake Charles, Louisiana, AKA 53. Get your tickets at akafights.com. We'll see you on the next one.